Welcome to Agricultural Development Trust, Sharda Bai Pawar, Mahila Arts Commerce Science College, Sharda Nagar, Baramati. I am Professor Poonam Mishra, brought for you the subject Secretarial Practice, in which we are learning the chapter number 7, Company Meeting Part 1. Students, before moving further, first let me tell you what do you mean by meetings. So in the company meeting chapter we will see all the rules, regulation and procedure for conducting and convening the meetings. So let's see in detail. Meaning of meeting. The term meeting is derived from the Latin word meta. Meta means face to face meeting. A meeting may be defined as a gathering or coming together or assembling of two or more persons for transacting any lawful business. So definition says, according to Shaw and Smith, company meeting is an assembly of people connected with the company who have gathered for the purpose of discussing matter related to it. It means whosoever the person who is related to the company and connected to the company, they come together, they discuss some matters and for conducting their lawful business. So that activity is known as a meeting. Students, please be careful and let's see this diagram very carefully. So in this whole chapter you have to learn that what are the essentials for valid meeting. What are the things which is essential for valid meeting. So first is a proper convening of meeting. Proper convening of meeting means how the meeting should be convened or called by the board of director and the secretary. After that, second one is proper constitution of meeting. How the format of a meeting should be. How the format of a meeting should be, what are the formation, how it is created, how it is presented in front of the person. So that is known as a constitution of meeting. Convening means calling meeting, and third is a proper conduct of meeting. Once you have called, means you have convened the person related to the meeting, you have constituted the meeting agenda, you have constituted the format of the meeting. Now you have to conduct the meeting properly. So these three things are very essential for conducting the meetings. So students, one by one we will see all these three concepts in detail. There are many concepts in the proper convening of meeting and also in the proper constitution of meeting and also in the proper conduct of the meeting. So first we will see what are the factors we should take care of while convening as a secretary for the meeting. So let's see. Students, here you can see that proper convening of meeting includes three things. First is proper authority, second is proper notice, and third is proper agenda. Means for convening any meeting properly, for calling any meeting, these three things should be taken care of. Means the secretary should take care of all these three things for convening or for calling the meeting. Okay, so proper authority means the person who is authorized or the person who is permitted to call the meeting. So who is permitted to call the every meeting? So let's see. A meeting must be convened by a proper authority, means the proper person, and the proper authority to convene a general meeting of shareholder is a board of director. National Company Law Tribunal in case of other situation, or central government is also the proper authority to call any meeting. Board meeting is also called by the group of directors, and if any case or dispute is there filed against the company, so in that case the National Company Law Tribunal, means NCLT, can call the meeting, and also the central government can also call that meeting. So these are the proper authority. If any shareholder feels that they have been cheated and they have been frauded by the company by giving the false information, in that case the shareholder also can file the case to convene or to call the meetings, and that requirement should be filled within 48 hours of the request. Next thing that the secretary should take care while convening the meeting is notice. Now students, you know what is notice. Notice means the information of anything. So the notice of the meeting is an advance written intimation, advance written information containing date, time, place given by the company to all those who are entitled to receive it. So the proper notice will be prepared by the stamp and signature of the company legal authorities, and that notice will be sent to the registered address of the related parties, and in that the date, time and place should be given for conducting the meeting. And the last thing, the secretary should take care of the agenda. Agenda is also known as a planning. It is a plan. Agenda is nothing but the plan. So agenda means a statement containing a list of items to be discussed at the meeting. So by this way the meeting can be conducted smoothly and easily, and it will be completed on time as well. So planning or preparing agenda of the meeting is a very critical and important task which is done by the company secretary only. A secretary has to prepare the agenda in consultation with the chairman, means the chairperson of that meeting, and this chairperson will be elected by the board of director only, and the agenda is sent along with the notice of the meeting. So third thing is that agenda should be there attached with the notice of the particular meeting. Now students, on notice you can be asked a separate question in the exam as a short notes. So we will see in detail, little bit in detail, what is notice. So the notice is a notice of a meeting is an advance written information containing day, date, time and place given by the company to all those who are entitled. Those who are entitled means those who have the right to receive the notice. The board of director authorizes to the secretary. So board of director gives the power to secretary to send the notice for convening the meeting, and in case of journal meeting, notice must be sent before how many days? 21 days clear day before the actual meeting. But for the board meeting, the notice should be sent 7 days before is required. The date of sending and the day of meeting should be excluded while counting this 21 days and this 7 days. Now student, we should know what are the things which will be written in the notice. What are the content or topic of the notice which will be written in the notice. The first, which type of meeting it is: shareholder meeting, board of director meeting, creditors meeting, journal meeting, annual journal meeting, extraordinary journal meeting. That should be written here. Next, the exact day, date, time, place of the meeting. The proper exact day, date, time and place of that particular meeting should be mentioned in the notice. Third one is the agenda, planning of the meeting, and contain a statement that member is entitled to appoint a proxy. So the agenda of the meeting which contains the statement that member is entitled to appoint a proxy. You know that student who are proxy. Proxy is a person who can attend the meeting in place of shareholder. So in that agenda, that should be written that in this meeting proxy can attend the meeting or not. So if any special resolution to be passed, if any separate case is to be discussed or critical case is to be discussed in that particular meeting, so that resolution for which the resolution will be passed, that should be mentioned in the notice. In case of special business to be transacted, if any special or lawful or statutory business is to be transacted, the explanatory statement for the explanation of that thing should be also mentioned in the notice only. Next, students, on agenda also you will be asked a separate question. So students, let's see it in detail. I have shortened the notes from the textbook, so whatever I'm showing in the PPT, that much only if you by heart, that is more than enough. So students, meaning of the agenda. Agenda means a statement containing the list of items to be discussed at the meeting. A secretary has to prepare the agenda in consultation with the chairman. So all the things regarding the meeting will be first discussed with the chairman by the secretary, then it is finally implemented. And agenda is sent along with the notice of the meeting, that you already know. Now few things also will be considered by the secretary while preparing the agenda. So first is a guideline. We will see the guidelines for preparation of agenda. So while preparing the agenda of the secretary should keep in mind the following guiding principles, following guidelines, following things should be considered by the secretary while drafting the agenda. So the first one is, agenda must be prepared in a simple language. No ambiguous, no complicated language should be used. It should be brief, it should not be so long, it should be brief and clear. Routine or general nature of items should be put first in order, and then special matter and continuous matters should be the last. So whatever the routine discussions of the meetings are done, that should be done firstly, and then the special matters or contentious matter will be discussed, or the critical matter will be discussed after the routine discussion. So that should be the planning or agenda of a meeting. Next is a similar type of matter should be placed in a sequence on the agenda. So students, similar type of matter, you know, the matter which is related with one another and which are of the similar nature, that should be numbered, or that should be arranged one after another. So that should be placed in sequence of the agenda. All the item included in the agenda must be with the scope of the meeting. Scope of the meeting means it should be within the boundary of the meeting topic only. The matter should not be outside the limit or boundary of the meeting topic. Types of agenda. So this is not particularly will be asked in the exam, but just for the knowledge sake you should know the types of agenda. First, the bare statement agenda, in which only the statements will be written, in which all items are described in a very brief. And second is a draft minutes agenda, in which items are given in detail. So the draft minute agenda is all the discussion and members and participation will be draft in a detail. So accordingly, when the meeting will be conducted, then the secretary, while drafting or writing the minutes of the meeting, he can take the help of draft minutes agenda, because 50% work of his minutes is done in the agenda only. So he can refer the agenda for preparing the minutes of the meeting. So it is useful in preparing the minutes of the meeting. Students, now we will see proper constitution of meeting. You know, on the first PPT I have shown you the essentials of 3 essential things for conducting or convening the meeting, for the meeting. So the first was proper convening of meeting. Now the second is a proper constitution of meeting. So proper constitution means the proper formation of the meeting, proper structure of the meeting, proper creation of the meeting, students. So in that, how the meeting will be structured properly according to section 103, the quorum is a very important part of particular meeting. Quorum means what? Let's see. Quorum is the most essential condition for valid meeting. If the quorum is not fulfilled, meeting will not be valid. So the quorum is the minimum number of members that are required to be present at a particular meeting. So presence of the member is essential for the transacting legally the business at the meeting. If the quorum is there, then only the meeting can proceed, otherwise it will be paused. So in case of public company, quorum depends upon the number of shareholder. So quorum means minimum number of member to attend the meeting. So in case of now we will see in case of public company, the quorum is depend upon the number of share held. So if the number of shareholders are more than 1000, but more than 1000, then the quorum minimum number of members should be present at the meeting is 5. But in case of if the number of shareholders are more than 5 but less than under the 5000 shareholder, then the quorum number of member is 15. If the number of shareholder exceed 5000, then the 30 member is required to convene or to conduct any valid meeting. Now students, in case of private company, what is the rule in case of private company? 2 member only required. Only 2 member personally present shall be the quorum for the meeting. And what is the quorum for the board meeting? Let's see. According to the provision of the Companies Act, a quorum of the board meeting is 1/3 of the total number of director or 2 director, whichever is higher. If 1/3 number is equal to 3, if 1/3 director, after calculating the 1/3 director, the director number shows 3 and 2 directors. So whichever is the higher amount, so 2 directors, so whichever is higher, so 1/3 is the higher, so this will be the quorum for the board meeting. Next students, we will see chairman of the meeting. So in the quorum, in the proper constitution of meeting, first will be focused by the secretary on the quorum, and the second he will focus on the chairman of the meeting should be elected and should be present at the meeting for constitution of that particular meeting, and for information for this is given under section 104. So there must be a proper person, that is chairman, to conduct a meeting properly. Chairman has to be preside over and conduct the proceeding of meeting. He should be there and he should conduct the proceeding or activities of the meeting. What are the powers of chairman while formation or creating the company? He can keep order and conduct the meeting properly. He can decide the priority of the speaker. He will decide who will speak first, who will speak last. He will decide the relevancy, dependency. Relevancy means dependency, order in the debate. So on which they will debate, on which topic they can debate. Or to prevent the use of improper language, chairman will take care that no one will be using improper language in the meeting and behavior of the member is as a professional. Or chairman also has a power to adjourn. To adjourn means to postpone the meeting. If it is become impossible to chairman to conduct or complete the meeting. To give the casting vote, okay, so chairman can give the final vote in the favor or the against. If the voting result are equal, at that time the chairman last vote will be counted as a casting vote, whether it is in favor or against of the particular proposal. And also the chairman can declare the result of the voting, and it give the ruling on point of order. Point of order means if somebody takes the objection for something, so chairman will decide whether the meeting will be conducted further, move further, or it will be paused or will be conducted on some another date. So these are the power of the chairman which is given to him. So student, chairman is very important person while conducting the meeting. So in proper constitution of meeting, we should two things will be taken care, that is quorum and the appointment of the chairperson. So chairperson's power we have seen. Now we will see the duty, what are the responsibility is given to the chairman for while conducting the meeting. So he will see that the meeting is properly convened and called and constituted, means formatted. He will see the proceeding of the meeting are conducted in a proper manner. Proceeding means the activity of the meeting are conducted, are done in a proper manner, which is mentioned in the agenda. As per the plan, the things are going on, that will be make sure by the chairman. To see that the items are discussed according to the agenda, to maintain the order in the meeting, he will decide the steps or the sequence of the meeting. Okay, he will declare the result of voting. To see the proper and correct minutes are entered in the minutes book and sign them. So he will sign the minutes book, so he has to see whether it is properly created or not by the secretary. To act in the best interest of the company. Best interest means the best benefit of the company. He will act, he will take all the action which will be beneficial for the company. And last, to deal with the all incidental means accidental questions which are arise at the meeting. Whatever the accidental question will come into the meeting, that will be solved and resolved by the chairman only. So the chairman is very important person for conducting the meeting. So student, as of now we have seen two things of the essential for valid meeting, that is proper convening and proper constitution, in which we have seen some question in detail because they are asked for separately for 4 or 3 marks. So students, the further part of this chapter I will send you in the next video. Till then, keep reading, stay safe, stay home and do study. Thank you.